Today we will explore a chilling story from Japanese folklore, the tale of Futakuchi-onna, also known as the woman with two mouths. This is a bizarre ghost with a second mouth located at the back of her head, hidden under her hair, capable of eating independently. This mouth is always hungry and demands to be fed. The story begins with Kiyomi, a young woman living a peaceful life with her husband who starts to feel a strange change in her body. Every time she eats, an insatiable hunger suddenly emerges and she can't control it. One night, when her long hair no longer conceals the second mouth, her husband discovers the horrifying truth. From then on, a nightmare begins as Futakuchi-onna becomes not only a terrifying creature, but an inescapable curse. Would you dare to face Futakuchi-onna, the woman with two mouths who is always hungry for life? In a small village nestled between lush green fields, there lived a girl named Keiko. Keiko was a young, beautiful, gentle woman with a constant smile on her face. She lived with her husband, Haruto, a kind and hard-working farmer. They led a simple life, full of love and warmth. Every day, Keiko would wake up early to prepare breakfast for both of them, while Haruto worked in the fields, plowing and tending to the crops. Together, they shared the small joys of life, from cozy evenings by the hearth to sunny summer days when they strolled beneath the shade of the ancient tree. Keiko loved taking care of their home. She always kept it tidy, clean, and filled with light. Occasionally, she would laugh and play with the children in the village, always ready to help anyone in need. The entire village adored Keiko. She was seen as the symbol of gentleness and hard work. But behind that cheerful exterior, Keiko carried a terrifying secret that no one knew. Every time night fell, she felt something strange, as though an unseen force was pulling her into the darkness. This feeling grew stronger each time she looked in the mirror. She always had an unfamiliar sense about her body, an obsession she couldn't shake off. She couldn't share this worry with her husband, fearing he would worry or not understand. Every evening as night descended, Keiko found it impossible to sleep peacefully. It felt as though something was rising within her, something she couldn't control. It was a secret she couldn't bring herself to admit, something that was slowly changing her peaceful life. Each night, when the moonlight poured through the window, Keiko felt this secret growing stronger, and she knew that one day it would no longer be hidden. Keiko's life seemed normal, but deep within her, a terrifying change was beginning. And all she could do was wait for the moment when it would finally reveal itself. On a quiet night, when Keiko's husband, Haruto, was away tending to the farm, she found herself alone in their small house. The unfamiliar sense of loneliness unsettled her, leaving her feeling uneasy. She sat down at the dining table, her tired hands placing a bowl of rice before her. But suddenly a fierce wave of hunger hit her. It felt as though her body was crying out for something, an insatiable hunger she couldn't explain. Keiko picked up her chopsticks, but as she brought them to her mouth, an odd sensation surged through her. She had never felt anything like it before, as if something was moving inside her body. She froze, and in the dim light of the lantern, she felt an inexplicable change taking place. Before she could understand what was happening, a chilling sound suddenly came from the back of her neck. Startled, Keiko turned around, her eyes wide with fear. Another mouth, completely unlike anything she had ever seen, was slowly emerging. It appeared right behind her neck, opening wide like a dark abyss, hungry to devour everything around it. This mouth was not just a regular mouth. It could move, make sounds, and even utter hungry phrases. Hungry, so hungry. Keiko stood frozen in place, her eyes filled with panic. She reached behind her neck, feeling the mouth wriggling as though it were a living creature reaching out for food. It wasn't just opening, but had an insatiable appetite, as if it could never be satisfied. She stepped back, her mind spinning and her panic rising, not knowing what to do. No, This can't be. Keiko thought to herself. She tried to stay calm, but the second mouth wouldn't stop. It was like a hunger without end, wanting to consume everything on the table and even what was in her own heart. Keiko felt herself losing control as the craving intensified. She had tried so hard to hide this secret, but now that secret could no longer be contained. With each passing moment, the second mouth grew stronger, taking over her body, and she realized that the peaceful life she once had was slipping away. Now she was left with one thing to face. Could she control the insatiable hunger of the second mouth, or would it consume her whole? As time passed, the second mouth grew stronger, not only hungering for food, but also emitting strange sounds. Every time Keiko ate, the mouth would squirm, open wide, and begin to make noises as if demanding food. These sounds were unlike the breath of a normal person. They were hissing, whispering words full of craving, as though the second mouth was waiting for some kind of meal to satisfy its endless hunger. Keiko tried her best to hide this secret from Haruto. Whenever her husband returned home, she would put on a calm face, do the household chores, and talk as if nothing was wrong. But every meal became a new challenge. Every time she picked up her chopsticks, the second mouth would start crying out, demanding food. Despite Keiko's attempts to eat quickly, swallowing hastily, the mouth would not stop. It began asking strange questions like, "Why won't you feed me more? Why are you leaving me here?" The second mouth not only wailed, but became obsessive, as if it were screaming in the dark. At night, when everything fell silent, the mouth would wake up again, groaning and clawing in the darkness. Keiko felt despair. She could no longer live like this, could no longer keep it hidden. But she was terrified, afraid that if she revealed the truth, Haruto wouldn't understand, or worse, he would abandon her. Keiko could only endure in pain, with the second mouth growing greedier, demanding more each day. Every meal became a battle. Keiko struggled to keep the mouth from making noise, but no matter what she did, the second mouth would not stop. It demanded food, demanded satisfaction, and each day it grew stronger. Keiko realized that she could no longer control it. The second mouth had taken over her body, and now it had become a part of her. An unrelenting thirst, an obsession that she could never escape. Could Keiko find a way to free herself from the endless hunger of this mouth, or would it consume her life completely? In the end, Keiko could no longer contain the second mouth. It had become too strong, too greedy, unable to stop no matter what she did. The mouth had consumed all the food in the house, leaving nothing behind, not even her own flesh. Keiko could feel the physical pain clearly, as if every part of her body was being torn apart. But what was worse was the mental invasion, being controlled by something malevolent, making her unable to govern herself. The endless hunger of the second mouth pushed her further, compelling her to search for and eat more every day. The cravings became irresistible, and Keiko gradually realized that she was cursed. This curse was inescapable, enveloping her like a never-ending nightmare. One evening, when Haruto returned home, he felt that something was wrong. The house was eerily quiet, and when he stepped into the dining room, the first thing he saw made him freeze in place. Keiko was sitting there, her face covered in blood, her eyes vacant and her mouth wide open as if the second mouth was still eating. The strong, nauseating smell of blood hit him, making him dizzy. He rushed to her side, frantic, shouting, "Keiko! What's happening to you?" Keiko couldn't respond, only gazing up at him with eyes full of despair. The second mouth continued to gape open, devouring everything around her. Haruto couldn't believe what he was seeing. He didn't understand what was happening, couldn't even begin to imagine the horror. The feeling of helplessness made him want to scream, but it was too late. He was lost, not knowing what to do to save his wife. Tears streamed from his eyes, but he also knew that at this moment nothing could undo the nightmare Keiko was enduring. The second mouth had claimed her, and all he could do was stand there helpless as he watched his wife slowly being consumed by the monstrous force that had taken over her. In the end, Keiko could no longer resist the terrible hunger of the second mouth. It had grown too powerful, not only demanding food but devouring everything within its reach. The mouth no longer consumed just food. It had started to swallow her as well. Every time Keiko tried to stop, it would hiss, demanding more. Her life force slowly drained away, as if each part of her soul was being consumed by that mouth. One evening, when Haruto returned home after a long day's work, he immediately sensed the terrifying silence. The house was eerily quiet, without a single sound. He searched around and finally found Keiko. But what he saw was a horrifying scene. Keiko was lying there, lifeless, her eyes wide open, staring at the ceiling, while the second mouth had completely swallowed her. All that remained was her cold, lifeless body. Haruto knelt beside his wife, tears filling his eyes, his heart heavy with sorrow. He could not believe what his eyes were seeing, could not accept the truth that his wife had been consumed by that evil. Keiko was gone, and her story, the story of Futakuchi-onna, became a legend. From then on, the tale of the woman with two mouths, forever craving food but never feeling satisfied, spread far and wide. A dark curse no one dared to face, but everyone feared when hearing the name. Futakuchi-onna. And so, the story of Futakuchi-onna ends here. But did she truly die? Or does she still exist in the darkness, haunted by the second mouth that constantly demands food, never feeling satisfied? The rumors about her continue to echo, serving as a chilling warning for anyone daring to approach that village at night. It is said that on dark, moonless nights, if you hear a strange hissing sound coming from within the village, it could very well be Futakuchi-onna, still searching for victims to satisfy her endless hunger. Will you dare to face her second mouth, or will you let the terror of her presence haunt you forever? The answer only you will know. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel so you won't miss out on more mysterious tales. Share this video with your friends and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching.